Kumusta? Kumusta? Welcome to the J. Arugasio Podcast, the first conservative podcast in the Philippines. We're protecting the Filipino family from woke ideology. Ano ang topic natin today? Well, nice ko kayong tanungin kung familiar ba kayo dun sa tinatawag na Stroop effect. Stroop is spelled as Stroop. Stroop effect. Ito yung technique ng mga malls kung bakit ginagamit nila yung 999.99 instead na sabihing 1,000 pesos ang halaga ng isang binibenta nila. Ito yung Stroop effect dahil mas mukhang sa mata natin parang 900 pesos yung binibenta instead na 1,000. Pero in effect, 1,000 pesos yun kahit na 1 centavo lang ang difference. And let me show you this. Ito yung prime example ng Stroop effect. Okay, so subukan yung sabihin ng colors, hindi yung words na nakasulat dito as fast as you can. I-zoom in ko pa para mas masaya. Yan, sige nga. Okay. Sige. Ako, tatry ko. Green, red. Mahirap, di ba? Ako, nahihirapan ako. Nasasabi ko yung orange imbis na blue, yellow, blue. And ito yung Stroop effect. And bakit ko na bring up ang Stroop effect sa pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi? The reason is, para sa ating mga hampas lupa, ng mga Tagalupa, mga simpleng nilalang, kapag nakakita tayo ng tao na mukhang lalaki, sure tayong lalaki, hindi natin mapagkakaila ang reality na lalaki siya. Ngunit nakadamit babae, mahirapan tayong tawagin itong ma'am instinctively or she ang may bibigay nating pronoun dahil sa Stroop effect. And medyo tinatry lang nating linlangin ang sarili nating pag-iisip kung ipipilit natin ang preferred pronoun nila. Ngayon, ito ang nangyari sa Cebu. So, basahin natin ang article. And salamat dito kay Philippine Social Conservative Movement. Kilala natin yan, kaibigan natin yan, na nag-translate ng article from Cebuano. Okay, so sabi dito, and ito yung picture. So basahin natin yung article natin translate ni PSCM. Viral, service crew 2 oras na sinermonan at pinatayo ng isang LGBT dahil lamang sa pagtawag sa kanya ng Sir. Basahin ang original post na shinare ni John Calderon, isang concerned netizen addressing sa LGBT na pagpapatayo ng service crew. So this is translated from Cebuano language. Long post ahead, sabi. This happened around 6 p.m. July 21, 2024. Hello. Were you the one who made an employee at Yuli's Alihala Center Cebu stand for 2 hours because the server from Yuli's called you sir? My memory is so clear because we were walking around the Ayala Center Cebu with my mom since 4 p.m. Then we took the elevator near Leylam and we saw this employee standing at parade dressed since 6 p.m. I really thought you were the owner and were just discussing things with the employee. So we shrugged it off and continued roaming around Ayala Mall. I couldn't shake off the feeling, and I told my mom that it had been nearly 2 hours that the server was in that position facing this guy named Jude. So I intervened and asked this guy, Jude, what was happening, if he was the owner or a customer. The guy, Jude, sarcastically said, "Go ask him," referring to the server. What happened? Then I asked the server what happened, and he said, I called him sir. Then I took the server to their staff room and this server broke down into tears and seemed to have a panic attack. At this time, there were customers dining in who clearly saw that this server was standing for 2 hours, but no one was even curious to know why and what happened. The other employees at Yuli's had already tried to console the server, but this guy Jude wouldn't leave the server because of the sole reason that the server misgendered him. According to Jude, he had a question for the server that the server couldn't answer. And this guy, Jude, said, "You will be standing there until you can answer my question." I don't know the exact question, but it should be related to pronouns and being misgendered. For context, the server and the employees had already apologized to this guy, Jude, and yet he still don't let the server go. There were no managers around at Yuli's Ayala Center, Cebu, and some of the employees were crying because they didn't know what to do. If my mom and I hadn't arrived and intervened, the server wouldn't have stopped standing facing the guy, Jude. Let me ask you, who are you to make someone stand just because of that mistake? You have no right to treat people like that, no matter how poor or rich someone is. You have no right to do that because they are human too. You yourself know where you start where you started, so let's not be arrogant. I didn't take a video because I was focused on the server who was crying. Also, you voicing for LGBTQ, for that mere mistake by the server, is that how you want to influence others? I am of the LGBTQ community myself, and you bring shame to our community by trampling on people's rights. I am calling you out and holding you accountable for your actions. Wherever we meet, I won't back down from you. You suddenly disappeared from where you were seated, but you should be there to address that. Hashtag no to Soji Bill. Hoy, salamat. Salamat sa hashtag na yon. Okay, so just to be fair, ay babasahin din natin ang statement ni Jude, yung nagpatayo dun sa server. So, siya ay si Jude Bacalso. So, ito yung kanyang side. So, what transpired between me and the staff at the restaurant was a series of errors. Yes, I was addressed as sir, though I did not scream or shout at the wait staff who did. My students call me sir, and my nephews and my nieces call me uncle. So it is no skin off my nose, and it is funny to me that transphobe seems to think I'm anguished by it. I'm used to being misgendered, and if it is an honest mistake, I take that as an opportunity to educate. Oh, wow. So, ini-educate lang pala niya si waiter. So, because I am close to the owners of the restaurant, I informed them directly instead of taking it thoughtlessly to the court of public opinion. Well, as a court of public opinion na, actually. The error was made even more jarring to me since one of the owners is a beautiful trans woman whose own transition I have witnessed through the years. Did the staff stand there for hours? Yes. We were waiting to resolve it with the owners. Did I demand that he stand there as punishment? No. The supervisor was there. Then I discussed with the airing staff that perhaps a gender sensitivity seminar would benefit them. The supervisor acknowledged that this incident was a wake up call to them and that they would welcome the opportunity. Cebu City is one of the first to pass the anti discrimination ordinances in the country, moved forward by tiny groups. So nagbanggit siya ng mga tiny groups of LGBTQ plus activists and championed by many allies in the city council. And the seminar is offered by accredited practitioners through their office to educate establishments on inclusive practices. Patrick put it best. It is upon us that to be vigilant, to be always vigilant, to keep the advocacy. If repeated errors are not corrected, even the smallest mistakes lead to graver actions of discrimination. If they think it's okay, they will keep doing it. What transpired between me and the staff was also a matter to be settled between us, and we were quietly until the hate mongering post. Will the LGBTQ at large appreciate it? Judging by the vile sentiments coming my way from the community, no. But we do what we can anyway. As of 1:52 p.m., the post was no longer available. Oh, sorry. Binasa ko pa ng buong-buo yung post, pero hindi na pala available. Ibig sabihin, hindi na siya canon. Wala na siya. Forget what I just read. Hindi na canon ito. Kalimutan natin yung buong binasa ko na statement ni Jude. Well, naglabas din ng official statement, of course, ang establishment. So sabi ni Ulyss, Streets of Asia, official statement, we are deeply concerned by the incident that happened this past Sunday. We have sat down with the server involved and the rest of our team to console and brief them following the altercation. Rest assured that we are educating our people and placing their welfare of utmost priority. Likewise, we express our apologies to our guests. Your concerns are well noted and will help us move forward towards a better customer experience. Yuli Streets of Asia respects and celebrates people from all walks of life, including our LGBTQIA plus community. Discrimination has no place in our restaurant. Thank you and Godspeed. Oh, wait lang. Sabi nga pala sa akin, may nag-message, hindi na daw pala ito yung official statement. Nag-reboot sila ng statement. So, ito na yung official statement. Okay. So, yung kanina, hindi canon, yung kay Jude. So, ngayon, ito naman, reboot naman ng Ulyss Street of Asia statement. So, ito na yung official statement. Yung kanina, non-official statement yon. Ito na yung talagang official statement. So sabi nila, the management of Ulyss Streets of Asia stands by our employee involved in the incident. He along with his teammates have our support. Okay, wow, medyo strong na yung support nila kay employee whereas kanina medyo support lang. We aim to provide a safe and respectful environment for both our guests and our people. We are taking steps to better handle these situations moving forward. So, salamat ha. Pwede palang magpalit ng official statement on the fly. So apparently dito sa pangyayaring ito, hindi na ako masyadong mag-dwell dito. Hindi ako magpapas ng judgment sa waiter or kay Jude or sa Streets of Asia mismo. Ang masasabi ko lang ay siguro kung batas na ang SOGI bill, kung may SOGI law na, siguro hindi lang napatayo ang waiter sa restaurant na ito. Baka mamaya nakasuhan pa siya. Tingin ko lang. Ano sa tingin nyo? I think from the looks of it, baka hindi pa siya kakampihan ng restaurant. Baka yung unang official statement, parang tinrow na nga siya under the bus, di ba? Pag kinasuhan pa kaya siya, mas kawawa pa itong si waiter. And widely condemned. I would like to thank yung mga persons who identify as LGBT who condemned this incident. And marami sa kanila naka-realize na mali nga naman yung nangyari. And may statement ka na sinabi si OG Diaz that I would like to read. So basahin natin to. Sabi ni OG Diaz, galing to sa Filipino Star ngayon, digital. Sabi dito, di sana pinakitaan mo ng pruweba na magpapatunay na babae ka talaga. So si OG nagsabi nito. Ito ang naging payag ni OG Diaz sa isang Facebook post patungkol sa isang viral photo ngayon sa social media. Pinatayo mo for 2 hours yung waiter kasi na-insulto ka dahil tinawag kang sir. Yan ang lumabas sa mga post. Sabi ni OG sa kanyang post. Na-insulto ka kasi naka-eyes babae ka pero hindi mo na-achieve na tawagin kang ma'am. Dagdag pa niya. Ganun naman pala na babae ang tingin mo sa sarili mo, di sana pinakitaan mo ng pruweba na magpapatunay na babae ka talaga bukod sa pagpapakita ng toot! Hindi ko na sabihin yun. Nagdesisyon ka ibahin ang pagkatao mo tapos ang gusto mo mag-adjust lahat ng tao sa pagbabago mo ng anyo agad-agad. Di ba pwedeng dahan-dahan lang, ateng? Total, ikaw naman ang nagdesisyon magbago ang takbo ng pagkatao mo. Entitled ka naman masyado, te. Dagdag pa ni OG Diaz. And may wisdom dun sa sinabi ni OG. Ang totoo niyan, marami sa mga kapatid natin who identify as trans, especially in this day and age, na actually lalo na nung bago tong day and age na to, lalo na to, before, na naunawaan nila na kapag nagsimula silang lalo na yung mga biological male, 'pag nagsimula silang magdamit babae, alam na nila yung implications nito. Alam na nila na medyo awkward ang pagsi-CR, and yung mga trans nung unang panahon, nung hindi pa uso yung mga activism na ito, alam nila yung papasukan nila, and it comes with sacrifice. Definitely, gender dysphoria, mahirap ito. Mahirap 'to kung isa kang person with gender dysphoria. Definitely mahirap ito. But yung mga sinaunang trans, alam nila ang hirap. And although alam nila yung hirap, hindi sila nagpo-push na ang buong community, ang buong mundo ang makikiayon sa kanila. And yun yung sinasabi ni OG Diaz. Yun yung sinasabi ni OG Diaz. And sadly, ganun ang nangyayari ngayon. Marami sa mga nag-identify as trans ngayon ay mga aktivista. And they're doing this as a form of activism. And may iba na nga, I don't think na may iba nag-identify na sila as trans na hindi dahil sa may gender dysphoria sila. Mukhang may iba ay they just yun lang, identify as trans. Dumating sa point dati, kung maalala nyo, meron tinatawag na trends gender, di ba? Parang because of trend. And may iba dito is activism na lang. And dahil dyan, medyo they're making it bad para dun sa kanilang community. Ngayon, gusto kong pag-usapan, how do we deal with preferred pronouns? And bilang someone like me, conservative, Catholic, paano nga ba? May sikat na Catholic personality na gumamit ng preferred pronouns and nabash siya sa kanyang sariling social media. And I understand kung bakit may mga nag-correct sa kanya. Yung iba naman, hindi naman talaga binash siya. Kinorek lang siya in good faith. So, ang issue kasi dito, lalo na kung Catholic ka, is the problem is you conceded. Parang nag-agree ka na dapat ang trans woman, ang biological man who identify as a woman, dapat sa CR ng babae siya nagsi-CR, or you conceded na pwede siyang maglaro sa women's sports. So, yun yung nakikita kong issue dun eh. Kung ginamit mo yung pronouns niya. And we can have a middle ground actually. We can have a middle ground without sacrificing truth. Di ba? You can use their preferred name. Dahil marami naman sa mga pangalan ay unisex. And it okay lang naman, di ba? May mga names naman na we can say na palayaw niya ito. Nagpalit siya ng palayaw, di ba? So, wala namang incongruence doon. Di ba nang mukha kang tanga na gamit ka ng preferred name at umiiwas sa pronouns, wag lang nating isa-sacrifice ang katotohanan. And aside from that, I think tayong mga Pinoy, tayo lang ang merong gender neutral na ma'am sir. Tingin ko baka naiwasan tong insidenteng ito kung si waiter lagi na lang niyang ginagamit ang ma'am sir. And siguro ilagay na lang natin sa ating vernacular 'yon. Yun man talaga lagi ang tawag natin, di ba? Pag nasa Tianggi tayo, dumadaan tayo sa mga Tianggi sa Divisoria. Ma'am sir, kamusta po? Ito po, bilhin po kayo ma'am sir. So, yun lang. Okay, so medyo napahaba ang episode, but let me know your thoughts. Comment lang kayo sa comment section. This has been another episode of the J. Roga Show. At the end of the day, it will be night. Goodbye. Kumusta? I'm Jay Aruga of the Jay Aruga Show podcast. I would like to promote this event called Prayerful Hearts Faithful Ventures. It's a one-day event on August 25, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. organized by 4 Catholic businesses who advocate sharing the faith through a welcoming and safe space. Picture this: rosaries, Catholic-themed kiddie items, personalized bracelets and necklaces, veils, holy hugs, prayer books for kids with confession guides, stickers, pencils, and home decor, storybooks, novels, graphic novels, comics, manhwa, apologetic books, books for parents and family, books on theology and spirituality. Come unwind, rejoice, and rediscover the joy of doing business with God in your heart. This is more than an invitation. It's a warm embrace to celebrate faith and fellowship. For more details, I will put a link of the event on this podcast episode show notes.